we are going to make our own ginger beer. This is one of my favorite DIY kitchen projects these days. It's a really easy beginning fermentation project. It takes very few ingredients and they're very common ingredients, easy to find. And the end product is really delicious and quite impressive. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this on your own. Making ginger beer is a two-step process, and I will show you both steps. For all parts of this recipe, when we're using ginger, we use ginger with the skin on. And you want your ginger as fresh as you can. So to a bowl, I'm going to add 1 cup of water. And to that bowl, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar and 2 teaspoons of grated ginger. Once you've added your ginger and your sugar, you want to give it a little stir, cover it with cheesecloth, and put it out of the way in a warm area. In order to get the bug active, you need to feed the bug every day. And by feeding it, I mean you're going to add 2 more teaspoons of sugar and 2 more teaspoons of grated ginger. And the little stir, you're going to do that every day for about 2 to 5 days until you see bubbles starting to form. This is the ginger bug I started, and notice I put cheesecloth over it and just put a rubber band around the bowl to hold that in place. And you can tell that it's a much thicker liquid, and it just looks like a little bit fizzy on the top. So once your bug is active, it's time to move to the next step. So I'd like to start with a gallon of distilled water, and you want to put half the gallon or 2 quarts of water into a large pot and get it to boil. On hand, which I'm going to add to this once it starts boiling, I have 1.5 cups of sugar, and you want your grated ginger. So you can use anywhere from about 2 inches of ginger root to 6 inches, depending on how gingery you want your ginger beer to be. Once your ginger beer is done boiling, you want to take it off the heat and let it cool completely before moving on to the final process. So you're going to strain the liquid that you just put over the stove. Now, I have the juice of 2 lemons. I'm just going to pass through here too because of the seeds, and I'm adding this to the ginger beer mixture I just created on the stove. And then to that I'm going to add the bug, and I'm just going to do a little swish around. I want to make sure I get all that goodness at the bottom. This is the bug that I strained, and I'm going to add that. So I just put the strained bug, the lemon juice, the mixture that I strained out from the stove back into the Le Creuset because I need my biggest container to finish this. And I'm going to add enough water to make a gallon. Like I said, I started with a gallon jug of water, and I used half of it for the water on the stove. So I'm just going to put the rest of this water from the gallon into the mixture. Now that I have this mixture all ready to go, I can start putting it in the bottles. So now I want to show you how easy it is to use a bottle capper. The key is to use a bottle that is a pop top, not a twist off. That way you can reuse any pop top bottles that you have. You want to make sure that they're clean and sterile before you start this process. You can buy a package of bottle caps. They come kind of flattened out already. I got a package of 50 for really inexpensive. You place it on top of the bottle like that, and then you put this bottle capper. It has this little part right here. It has a magnet that sticks to the top of that bottle cap. So I position it over the top, and then I just press down, and I felt a little kind of snap, which let me know that that bottle cap just got in place. Now I'm going to finish bottling these, and then I'm going to put this ginger beer in a safe place where it can hang out for 2 weeks, and that's going to let the fermentation process happen and build carbonation in the bottles. Then I'll put them in the fridge to cool them down and pop them open to drink. I'd like to give a big shout out to Sandor Katz for letting me share this recipe with you today. He is the author of some awesome fermentation books, which I highly recommend you check out. Wild Fermentation, which is where this recipe came from, and there's many other awesome recipes in here. And also The Art of Fermentation, which is another awesome fermentation resource. I hope you'll check out the blog post that goes with this video today for lots of links to other fermentation resources and the complete recipe for this ginger beer. And also just subscribe to my blog for lots of different posts with gardening and kitchen goodness at seattleseedling.com. You can also follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/seattleseedling and on Twitter at seattleseedling. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel for lots of videos and the latest updates of videos with tips for your kitchen and garden. Have a great week, friends, and Happy New Year! That's what I'm talking about.